Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like a rumble is going. YouTube is going. Twitter is going. Looks like everything's going. Give me a moment to activate chat windows. There it goes. Okay, chat windows should be good to go now. And give me a moment to double check my other computer. And it looks like everything's good to go, so let's go ahead and get started. New DLC, but no new faction here, just the old ones, which are both not original to the game as themselves. Greetings everyone, and Great here, another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn bottom left side as the blue Zuzi's Legacy. We got Vortex spawn top right side as the red Mullions. We got Zero Timurus. Butchered that name well enough. Because of map generation, we got a deer deposit next to the boar. The deer deposit's back here. What would be a good spot for the meditation gardens? Based on what you see on the minimap, I don't see a great spot for the meditation gardens. Maybe try to put it right here. Try to skim the berries, stone, and gold. Although not many, or really any spot for the meditation gardens. When it comes to red, for his possible mining pits, all his extra mining pits are forward. So it looks like he's not going to have safe mining pits, barring this one. Well, so it looks like overall both sides map generation's not good. Suppose that shall be even. Red has its deer deposit. It is a somewhat safe spot. This one's very far away. But that pretty much sums it up. I was just taking time to collect them some trees now. And now it's starting to age up. Meditation gardens will be established here. I wonder if that will get the gold deposit. I think it does. It's pretty lenient. Monster Quarry now being established over here as well. You now have wheelbarrow being researched by the Mullion player. The lumber camp. Overall, pretty nice, simple game. Gold deposit will be obtained. Will red go for special scouts? Maybe, maybe not. Vanguard scout will scout out these villagers. We do now have a archery range being established on the field. Maybe I'm for just some javelin throwers for defense. He is fighting against Zuzi's Legacy, with possibility he can fight against Palace Guard, early Palace Guard, which are okay. Nothing too crazy. We got professional scouts being researched by the Zuzi's Legacy player. Javelin throwers now being pulled on the field, so it looks like red is going with the wrong units to be pulled on the field. Against scouts, I can see archers, I can see spearmen, or Donzo in this case. I can see warrior scouts, I can see whatchamacallit, sofas. But javelin throwers are probably one of the worst options right now. Blues does pull out some horsemen here. He does have 4 scouts. Looks like the patch, this new DLC, has not fixed the Zuzi's Legacy Scout. He does start off a Chinese Scout rather than a Zuzi's Legacy Scout, so we do have double Scout up high. Javelin throws do get a bit of a spear throw there. Danzo as well. Danzo's javelin throws are still very effective. Huh. I thought they had the same damage as a melee attack. Man, I'm just going crazy. We do now have the wheelbarrow now being researched by Zuzi's Legacy. Second mining pit being established here. Not a great spot for it, as I mentioned earlier. Horsemen moving around. More Dons will be employed in the field. Very nice. Looks like Blue will have clicked up all the deer without any resistance. Over here we do have now the scouts or the horsemen trying to torch some of these, houses. Donzo trying to come over and respond to it. Does save that house there. We'll take time to repair up the houses as well. These houses, of course, are pretty cheap at 25. More venison being obtained. You always can go to the Zhengen Tower to get some free units as a bit of rebate. It does provide horsemen rather than scouts still. More venison being obtained by Blue. Very nice. So he's going to be eating very well. Vanguard Scout receives some damage. They're the same as these regular scouts, that's for sure. Until he gets to Warrior Scout upgrade. Vanguard Scout will go down. Horseman does see a bit of damage there. Nice little ambush there from the Danzo. Getting a good number of javelin throws there. Horseman's down to 5 health, so even a javelin throw from a javelin thrower will take him out. Little losses there. Zuzi's Legacy player is getting some decent stone generation from the Meditation Gardens. Could go for some outposts with some hand cannoneer slits. We got a decent number of Zunchnoos. They will have trouble with the javelin throwers. They do have +1 damage. Javelin throwers or Danzo do not have +1 range armor, so that's being researched now. With that, the Zunchnu will only do 1 damage per bolt. More horsemen, more Zunchnoos being employed out by Zuzi's Legacy player. He cannot deploy out regular archers. That's something that's not an option for Zuzi's Legacy. +1 range dam armor almost complete by Red. Mining pit is under siege. Mining pit taking some damage there. Do not have the Warrior Scout upgrade. Warrior Scouts do not have any bonus damage versus ranged units until they get the veteran Warrior Scouts. Mining pit has been burnt down. And now do have a faster castle for the Zuzi's Legacy. Going to Shaolin Monastery, maybe trying to grab some relics. Warrior Priests are pretty good unit either way. Taking time to grab some of this venison, so Blue does spot this, or Red does spot this. At this current rate, seeing that bad path, and not take a bit of damage there from the Warrior Scout. Probably should start eyeing this deer deposit instead. Warrior Scouts do move faster than Knights and Scouts, but they do move slower than Horsemen. We do now have the Veteran Zunchnu upgrade. Getting these upgrades nice and early is going to be very powerful. Tech difference for Zunchnus is very critical in order to get a lot of work done. This improved their damage up to 5. Or base damage of 5, I should say. So now they will do 100% more damage versus the Jamthurs, and just a lot more damage to the Hardened Donzo. Donzo's trying to get ripped apart there by the Zunchnus. No +1 range damage on the way. The Mon player is very far from aging up. All the Donzo went down, allowing the Horsemen free reign. They only have 3 range armor at the moment, so the higher base damage Jamthurs will pierce through their armor a little bit. But even the Zunchnus are able to help close the distance. Donzo do move at regular movement speeds. Zunchnus do move at crossbow movement speed. Luke greatly increases range damage. He gets that +1 range damage on the way. 2 Shadow Monks are on the field as well. Probably grab some relics. The mining pit's under fire. And we got the Donzo falling back as well, right? It's pretty far behind. Going for more Donzo is probably a good idea. Warrior Scouts won't offer any real capability against the Zunchnus other than the mobility. Luke can also side for some Lancers. He does have 3 in the field. 3 more on the build queue. Mining Pit has gone down. Starting to pull out some cattle farms. Eyeing the Grand Fulani Corral. All these forces trying to move around, trying to find another place to engage. Wolf getting some fights there, and the Shallow Monk does have 2 melee armor and have ability to reduce range damage by 50%. He also has pretty good attack speed as well as damage. We do now have the bolt magazines increase, giving the Zunchnus +1 damage versus light melee, so Donzo are going to be even less effective and also get a little bit of extra range to work with. Put them up to 5. Got some Sophos in the field. Of course, without imported armor, the Sophos will take a bit of damage there from the Zunchnus. Bolt magazines deployed in field greatly increases damage against those Donzo. He really still needs to get +1 range damage as well. And some of the Zunchnus are taking a bit of damage. Blue does manage to escape on out of there. Trying to use the formation to speed up the Zunchnus. Charging forward for the Lancers. Good number of Donzo there. But Donzo's let the Jamthurs take some hits there. Relic has been picked on up. Tries not to push forward for a Wolo. Yeah, charging for the Lance like that may have not been a great idea. Zunchnus starting going down. Grand Fulani Corral not being queued on up. Got this Shaolin Monk engaging. He needs to activate the Body of Iron. Picks up another relic there. That should be perhaps up to 4 relics claimed. Blue has now put a secondary town center. You could try eyeing Yuan Dynasty, get out some pagodas. Jengen Tower now on the build queue. Malians are now castaways going for the veteran warrior scout, which will give them the bonus damage versus light or versus range units, making them actually a counter to the Zunchnews. However, they still have 0 inherent range armor, so they will take pretty much full damage from those Zunchnews. These legacy players already going for a round of crossbow and deal with the sofas, but which they're not being built. Song Dynasty has now begun. Second side being catched up by blue. Only one relic's left on the map. This one here. Zeus's legacy player does have a number of spearmen on the build queue that may be from the Zhengen Tower. Warrior Scout does get ripped apart there. Let's see, what do we have here? Veteran Sofa Research. 2 6 size picked up by blue. This Shaolin Monk's Eye for the last relic. We also got now Nest of Bees on the build queue, and all 6 sites obtained by blue, getting the 6 site victory counting in his favor. Good number of Zunchnews there. So, Warrior Scouts are straightforward. They do get full horseman speed with being veteran Warrior Scouts as well. Giant Throwers gains good damage there, doing a good job of focusing these guys down. And all those Warrior Scouts go down, so he no longer has stealth vision. Blue can aggravate Pumbaa there, but looks like the Giant Throwers are not pursuing. Donzo does go, or Lancer does go down to Donzo. Oh, a nice little javelin throw, severely wounded that one. Warrior Scout cannot defeat the Shaolin Monk. Warrior Scout does go down there. Donzo's will take out the rest of these Lancers since Blue's not paying close enough attention. No +1 range armor by the Malians player just yet. That may be a bit of oversight. Zuzu should get some good damage there. SABs get a good volley there as well. Warrior Scouts will easily heal themselves up, no problem. Mining pit has been reestablished there. I don't know why. That feels like... Ah, there's a missing house on this side, looks like. Looks like he didn't really properly place down everything. Missing out on a little bit extra income there. We do now have the grease axles and the veteran level 2 farming research. I don't know why I had trouble saying that. I wonder as well, is it still collecting up deer? Nope, starting to transition to some of the farming. Got the gate going on down. Those are trying to repair up that wall. Spearmen and Zunchnews trying to pursue these Warrior Scouts a little bit. Now can these Spearmen push way forward. We do have the local knowledge there, giving Musfati warriors and gunners health regen when entering camouflage. Got a round of stone walls being established here by blue. The villagers here will be found. Couple palace guard here for protection. Those are trying to get the walls going up now. These are all ghosted at the moment. Some of these villagers do go on down. Javelin throwers do have pretty good range. Nessa B is trying to rotate on in. Musafari Warriors will prevent the opening from being closed. Nessa B is getting a good volley there in the Javelin throwers. Musafari Warriors are entering single files, just single spearmen holding back these angry ladies. Nessa B is coming for a pretty massive barrage, though some are getting stuck on the high ground. And that choke point is quite nasty for Red to fight through. Some good damage there. Red has advanced over here with a good number of warrior scouts trying to hit the various villagers. Got a decent number of spearmen for defense, as well as some Zunch news. So far, Red's killed off 24 villagers. Red has only the one town center, while Blue does have 2. However, the villager count is quite similar, and Red does play a better economy right now thanks to his cattle ranches and Grand Flona Corral and the mining pits. Good damage there. Villagers here getting hit pretty hard by these warrior scouts. Loose or Red starting to fall back there. Imported armor now being reached by the Mauling player, getting his Sophos +2/+2 armor. They're trying to establish some stone walls now. Got, of course, a handful of these Donzo here. They're all quite wounded. With all Red's trying to dig in. He's very far from age up, has nowhere near enough food. Red has almost enough food to age up, just need a bit more gold. So the Mauling player may age up. I wonder which one you'll probably go to. Probably for the Huntress rather than Festivals. Whatever that landmark's called. More walls going on up. Poison arrows not being researched by the Mauling player. More forces being deployed on in. Red has an army 61, Blue has an army 58, but Blue technically has a higher army value. There's also +18 from siege weapons. Donzo's being picked on off. A bit of shank there will take that out of that one. All the Donzo's gone down. All the walls have been built along this flank. The skull deposit is just outside of his stone walls though. Wolf does go down there. Now got the Girat Bara for those festivals. Cost 300 gold, providing enhancement boot gathering rates for food, unit production speeds, or force damage and siege attacks. Try and go for a gatehouse here. Gate has been established there. Mining research now being queued on up for Red. And there's the Imperial Age for Red now. Blue's pretty close to his own Imperial Age, just need a little bit more resources. goes to the Temple of the Sun for configurable bonuses. Against all the mobile forces and the lack of horsemen, probably Divine Haste would be good rather than Divine Charge. Doesn't have any gunpowder units at the moment, but that can easily change. That's more of an Age 4 unit either way. And I can't remember what the last one was. Oh yeah, Health Regen. That's something that should be actively used, but I don't see players actually actively using it. Like, for example, if you want to pull back these forces, turn on the Health Regen. Divine Haste should be active now, or could be... And I don't see Divine Haste at the moment, so it must be at Divine Charge at the moment. But those units going down, these Nest of Bees are just a massive swarm of them. They have the actually Divine Defense there, so they get +1 range. That's what's going on. That makes good sense. He has so many Nest of Bees here. Jam Throws for 4, got some Musfati Gunners here. Elite Warrior Scouts there. Red just stringing units, need some perhaps regroup and then push forward. Elite Warrior Scouts do have bonus damage versus Siege, like any other scout and horseman. Good number of these Nest Bees still alive, just needs more escort. Spyglass now being reached for the Mulligan player. And he's also going for a Bombard. Elite Spearman for the Zeusis Legacy. Red or blue should also eye for a Tideborn relatively soon. I suppose potentially Pogos need to provide even more income. Bombard gets a good direct shot there on the Nest of Bees. War Scouts 3-4, but simply not enough of them. Musfati Warriors engaging the Palace Guards. Nest of Bees barraging the the regular Bombard. Does take it out. +1 range able to allow them to range it a little bit more easily. A 8.5 tower range does have the additional barrels, so it has 3 extra burst. That doesn't seem right. I think it was like 2 extra rockets. I think the regular burst is 8 rockets with +2. This description may be just inaccurate. Archer range is starting to go on down now. We do have a full mining pit down here as well. I wonder if the gear up bar is actively being used. I can't see anything actively being used. The military festival seems particularly used for it now. He has plenty of gold for it. But for elite archers now. Good number of the elite warrior scouts charging way forward. Volley down the siege workshop. Good number of spearmen here. Good number of spearmen to help protect everything. This may not be successful. Yeah, the elite warrior scouts are not enough to break on through. Poison arrows advancing. Siege workshop does go down. Outpost now being established. Or just for some spotting for blue. Blue could also perhaps get the Yuan dynasty. Now has enough resources to also give him unit discount. The cows may be set free. The cows have been tipped over. Better damage on these forces. Good number of spearmen there. Archers, of course, will be good against those spearmen. We got more warrior scouts pushing along the flank, engaging spearmen. Their blue still has a good number of spearmen in the back line. Archers slowly being whittled down by the Nest of Bees. Cattle ranchers starting to get damaged. Blue also has some villagers here, probably just trying to repair up these nests of bees. More warrior scouts coming on in. We've got a stream of reinforcements coming in for blue as well. Zuzi's library being deployed in the field, so it looks like the Zuzi's legacy player is eyeing for his Ming Dynasty. Probably 10,000 bolts and Royal Dragon would be useful. The Fire Lancers and the extra bolt for his crossbowmen Zunchnu's. More cows starting to be tipped over. Ming Dynasty has begun. Which I believe gives Law's Dynasty units some extra damage and health. Deals plus 20 damage with the Ming Dynasty vs Dynasty units. And Red is back to the game now. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Go ahead and find another player. Let's see. I don't think I cast any of his from this week. Yep, this is the right player. 40-minute game right here. Here's what else is there. Yeah, that's a mirror matchup. But yep, this one should be a good one. Hopefully. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the top left side as the blue Chinese player, we got a foreign name. On the bottom right side as the magenta Knights Templar, we got Liquid Demu. Of course, just the early eco phase, nothing too significant. Granted, also purple doesn't have to worry about any wood drop-off sites, if that makes any difference. Gets some decently good value from his lumberjack spell. Able to collect up wood at a higher rate without needing to drop off, and get additional 20% food upon collecting, making his lumberjacks highly efficient. Blue has enough resources to age on up, going for the Imperial Academy first, and over here got the Kingdom of France. Kingdom of France reduces the gold cost of all military units by 5% and plus instant faster reduction speed. Also grants access to the Chevalugers, a early heavy cavalry that's more similar to Sofas. And they also do have benefits from the Horde aura. Imperial officials not being deployed in the field. And with the recent update, patch, we can now see the other landmarks you can deploy in the field with our caster vision. So, you can see here, Barak in the Sun, available for 400s, 200. Usually it's not common to the Chinese go for a fast Song Dynasty, just to get the extra village production. Plus, Barak in the Sun's a not half bad landmark for defense. Here comes the Pilgrims. Magenta immediately rushed out both Pilgrim upgrades, so now has 2 Pilgrims. These pilgrims will be providing 117 gold. Oh, we do also have abandoned outposts here, just for a bit of free spotting. Now I do have a stable and barracks now pulled in the field by blue, so spearmen and or horsemen. Knights Templars going for some Chevaulegers. Or Chevaliers, not Chevaulegers. Why did I say Chevaulegers? Either way, here's the Chevalier. Offers 160 health, 14 damage, 2/2 armor. Very similar to a Sofa. Its cost is, technically its base cost is 90/80, so 160 resources with a little bit of gold discount, of course. Professional Scouts not being researched by a Chinese player. Going for a decent amount of scouts there. Force and falling back, going for these. Does get more gold income with these pilgrims come this direction. Wolf gaining some bites there. So every 60 seconds right now, Magenta will get about 100 or 250 gold, which is quite significant. Chevaliers being pulled in field. We've got a good number of spearmen now pulled in field by the Chinese player. A couple horsemen as well. Wolf getting some bites there. Chevalier pushing along the flank. His charge attack is 21. His sword and strike is 14. Now I got some archers pulling the field. Trying to hit those spearmen. Chevaliers trying to hit those horsemen. Slowly whittling down those spearmen with the archers. Chevaliers now advance way forward and braving the spearmen. And then the Chevaliers will go down. But no archers to go down. And now do have professional or survival techniques being researched by Magenta. Just collecting up food on the field. Knight does go down there. That knight does take some hits there as well from this outpost. It's a couple, not necessarily knights, chevaliers. Couple hits over there. Archers backing on off as well. We do of course have these scouts with the venison. They do get spotted there thanks to the nearby scout here. Magenta's trying to hit these units there. Getting some good damage. They need to drop the venison and run. We do not have the Imperial Palace going on up. Which you usually see the clock tower, astronomical clock tower rather before I see Imperial Palace. But Blue's going for the Imperial Palace, which does act as a lighthouse. And also no Song Dynasty just yet either. Song Dynasty help them lock down, say, the gold deposit. Does take out one villager there. Barbican Sun, of course, is a outpost that's fully upgraded hand cannon near slip. Just a 5,000 health outpost. Scout goes down, or likely will go down. Imperial Official does take a bit of damage there. Chevalier does go down. Got some Palace Guards now pulling the field. Chevaliers do charge before. A couple Spearmen in tow. Palace Guard nice and old, but they're a little bit outnumbered. They do have less armor, so archers do a little bit better against them. He also has not researched, or only researched one range armor. Lance's overall good option right this moment. Just a heavier cavalry to help deal with everything that his opponent has. Palace Guard overall is a good option as well, but they're just a little bit too light in armor to be extremely effective. They're just okay. And Geneva Empire now being pulled on the field. I don't know how to pronounce that. Does give access to the Heavy Spearman, a very, very powerful unit, which can accompany any of your ranged forces. Chevaliers charge way forward. One does go down there. No hand cannon near slit. Nope. Some of these villagers are going down to these Palace Guard and Lancers. Heavy Spearman would be a very good item against the Lancers and be reasonable versus the Palace Guard. Mitchell's age up is now complete. Archers pretty forward, going for the veteran archer research. Lancers who fall back, Chevalier in tow. We do have these Palace Guards to support this Pilgrim, very nice. Nice spear brace there by the Heavy Spearmen. The armor is also equal to the man-at-arms as well, so they're very, very durable. Got some crossbowmen being put on the field. Completely and utterly ordinary crossbowmen, which means they are very good at the Palace Guards and Lancers that he's currently fighting. Some of those knights are going down. Palace Guards being focused down there. The Templar headquarters only has the standard default defensive arrow. Lancers and Palace Guard trying to pursue these villagers. It looks like all these heavy units will be going down. Lancers do take out some more villagers there. We do have a boar with only 400 food remaining. Lancers can be hit there. Probably only use those 3 villagers to clean up the rest of that boar. Not really worth bringing any more villagers down south or north. Lancer does go down there. We do have now the monk being bitten by the wolf. And now I do have some Brother Templars now being put on the field. A heavier cavalry for the Knights Templar. There are some Brothers Templars now. They do have standard heavy cavalry armor. They have increased health. Default health of Lancers and Knights is 230. These guys have 275. They do cost, let's see, 120 and 133 with a 5% discount. I think it is supposed to be 140 default. So they do cost about 260, a little bit more expensive than Knights for a little bit more health. Archers and heavy spearmen and one crossbowman push way forward. A number of Palace Guard and Lancers there. Monk here does get bitten a little bit. Scout takes fire there. Archers being pursued by these Lancers. Not much these Archers can do. They have 9 damage to load. The Lancers do have only 5 armor, not 6 armor. Which is out going for a fortress over here. That's help provide some defense towards this trading post and to the sacred sites. I have a feeling that he's going to age up to Venetians to get out of the Venetian traders. They're just getting hit here as well. Crossbowmen take out some as well. And looks like the monk is still seeing some dog wolf bites there. At the current rate, that monk may go down to the wolf. The wolf's getting severe damage onto it. Crossbowmen is here, hitting some of these units. We now have secondary towns that has been pulled on the field. Chinese player still Tang Dissing, increasing his vision ring of scouts. Blue does have a slight villager advantage, but nothing too significant. It can greatly grow if he were to get out his Song Dynasty. Good number of Lancers and Palace Guard back there. Force established here. Lancers going down. Now I've got the Bardican of the Sun now being established there, which is a healthy outpost. It is getting. We'll put him to Song Dynasty. Song Dynasty has now been obtained. Now he does have 2.5 villager queues. Three more pilgrims now advancing. Got also a bit of a farm there. Monk does disappear. Looks like that bug's still in the game. Or Chinese monks just disappear from existence. Magenta has now claimed 2 Sacred Sites. Blue still has the 1, which should be decaptured relatively soon. Archer does go down there. Magenta's now going for the boiling oil research. Blue has put a 3rd town center there, going for more granaries. All 6 sites have been captured by Magenta. Blue has 10 minutes to rectify that. 3 pilgrims now pushing way forward. Every single fortress will increase the amount of pilgrims sent by 1. And right now every pilgrim is providing 130 gold at the moment, which is a significant amount. Of course, can be increasing more with the treasure towers. Another mention the Sacred Site income right here. Magenta's also going for some basic walls there. Scout engaging Monk. Blue Scout will fall back. Siege Workshop now being pulled in the field. Berry bush is being collected on up as well. Lumber preservation now has been researched. Magenta's now going for another fortress, not putting next to the Sacred Site there, so won't be able to get increased gold income from the treasure towers. But at least keep these pilgrims a little bit more safe on their journey, on their pilgrimage. So a number of Lancers are there, Palace Guard as well. Templar Brother Templar advancing way forward. Villagers do escape on out. There are of course some villagers here. Villager will go down. Lancers and horsemen trying to retaliate against this Brother Templar. Outpost provide a bit of spotting. Heavy spearmen and crossbowmen push way forward. Get some shots around these villagers. Got another archer range now being established. Also, the Lancer will defeat the Brother Templar. Magenta is now going for another fortress. Not sure where this next fortress is going on. Up there it is. Which will increase the number of pilgrims. We do now also have the desert castles, improved desert outpost aura on the fortress. Also provide increased armor by one. Blah, cannot speak right now. Another fortress being established somewhere. This time back here. These villages may be a little bit too far forward with their farms. Nice little spear brace there. Brother Templar will go down. Couple heavy spearmen in the region. And now got a trebuchet being pulled out by the Chinese. SCVs are not very good at structures like Mangonels. Mentioned this up straight forward, good number of crossbowmen. You could try to just garrison inside the keep for better defense, overall just getting some rounds onto these horsemen and palace guard. Those are trying to prep the keep now. SCV is trying to creep their way forward. Like I said as well, he could probably split up some units inside the fortress there to just get extra defense arrows going. Does take a partial barrage there. These guys are pretty wounded. A monk or two wouldn't be half bad. And now got a bit of walls there and enough resources for the Great Gatehouse. Great Gatehouse now being pulled in the field. Trebuchet is now sieging down the Knights Templar's fortress there. He does have 4 pushes in the field, so he's getting 6 pilgrims per every 60 seconds. Each one's providing a significant amount of gold, which I have to keep an eye on one of them after plus 20%. Republic of Venice now being employed in the field. Yep, since I don't have the player selected. Republic of Venice was also getting access to Venetian traders, which are a fast, very fast trader, but a bit more expensive. You also put in the corner there and go for a pretty good trade path. Outpost there for spotting. Oh, we also now have actual nested bee emplacements. Very nice. Something I wondered if they were ever going to do, and they did. Herbal medicine now being researched by Magenta. Very nice. Some of these units are quite wounded, so the herbal medicine could be very, very potent. We do now have the trebuchet emplacement, which adds a mini Hui Hui Pow. I don't know what the damage output is like on it. It does not get revealed when you highlight the card here. I'm guessing it's equal to regular trebuchets, or at least equal to the Knights Templar trebuchets. Which may be able to range this Great Gatehouse. Yuan Dynasty now available. Blue does have 4 relics, so get out 3 pagodas. Hui Hui Pow firing away. It looks like one of those rounds missed, another one hit, so it seems like a trebuchet damage for the Knights Templar. Yep, it's trebuchet damage. And the armor tech is now being researched by Knights Templar. Outpost has been burnt down. Here comes some Cantoneros. Cantoneros are a unit that only costs gold. They're anti-gunpowder. They take 20% less damage from gunpowder units, which actually is important since Chinese like to go for hand cannoneers. They are classified as heavy infantry, so they only have 1/1 inherent armor, so they're pretty vulnerable to crossbowmen, particularly vulnerable. And they will take some decent damage from regular archers. And Zunchus in this case as well. In fact, Zunchus should do just fine against Cantonero. Pilgrims are going to get hacked apart there. It looks like the Great Gatehouse getting hit by the trebuchet emplacement. Crossbowmen are engaging. Sacred Site victory has been neutralized. Trebuchet emplacement does roll a miss there. Sprinkles will be effective versus heavy spearmen. Of course, they will get ripped apart by the Brother Templars. And Kenny is on being pulled up by the Chinese player. Cantoneros do have double damage versus gunpowder, as well as siege. In theory, I think gunpowder siege will take even more damage. This brigandine, this description is actually inaccurate. Common soldiers, ignore that entire first sentence. Light cavalry get +2 armor. That's the only thing you should focus on that upgrade. It does not affect quote-unquote common soldiers, just light cavalry. That description really needs to be updated, or maybe it's just severely bugged. Heavy spearmen straight forward, do have some veteran horsemen trying to engage, and Cannoneers just firing away. Cantonero will take 20% less bonus damage from them, or 20% damage entirely, but that's actually not a whole lot due to how much high damage they already do. They do have the pyrotechnics research, so the increased range, and plus the unit density makes them 50% faster as well. Cantonero do move at a pretty high movement speed as well. No serpentine gunpowder just yet. Do not have the elite Brother Templar now being queued on up. Palace Guard charging their way forward. Cantonero does have currently 21 damage. These Palace Guard have only 28. Will of course get more melee damage still for them. Or not 28, 18. Very big difference. Great Gatehouse appears to be not destroyed, just severely damaged. Now got some horsemen now pulling the field, elite horsemen. Serpentine gunpowder being queued on up by the Chinese player. Local doggo, he's trying to play fetch, throwing some balls towards him. Burning balls. Cantonero also only costs gold. They cost 120 gold base. They're trying to go for defensive keep here. I wonder if they take less damage from the keep in place in Cannoneer spots. Good number of granaries here. 3 high taxes on one of them. Monster here with only 1 relic. I think the other one's maybe pagodas. Yeah, pagodas have been deployed in the field. I think he has access to Tithe Barn researched. Nope, Tithe Barn's not actual research. That should be very important research. That will give him a lot of extra income. Particularly some extra stone income never hurts. Keep still going up. Brother Templars straight forward. That biology now being researched by the Chinese player. He actually has enough resources to get to Ming Dynasty if he so chooses. That would remove the increased movement speed and give him, what, increased health on all of his Dynasty units. More pilgrims make his way. Nice Templar player has a pretty sizable stockpile of all resources. Blue's now pushing down south. The Great Gatehouse has been destroyed. A couple more outposts being salvaged there. Trebuchet is firing away. They are now firing 3 projectiles. Hand Cannoneers firing away. Chinese Hand Cannoneers are going to be effective versus everything. Bombard rolling his way forward, sort of. It's like sliding his way forward. Horseman pushing their way forward. He does have access to Lancers, or Fire Lancers. Probably doesn't have access to Elite Fire Lancers, probably just regular Fire Lancers at the moment. But he is Union Dynasty, which is the dynasty to get access to Fire Lancers. Which I'm assuming those guys are not classified as gunpowder? I honestly don't know off the top of my head. Horsemen and Palace Guard move forward. Hand Cannoneers still in small numbers. Chinese players not maxed out, while Knights Templar is. Chinese players have moved some of these bombards. He just needs to regroup his forces. We've got a cannon placement for the Vatican and the Sun. Palace Guard charging the way forward. Battering does go down there. More damage on the Vatican and the Sun. Blue's falling back, needs to regroup reinforcements here. Has decent reserve of Hand Cannoneers. Trying to go for more Hand Cannoneers. He has plenty of wood and gold. Not enough of other resources at the moment. Maybe get out some crossbow won't cost food. I was in the wrong Age of Empires game. You can go for perhaps some Nest of Bees or some Spring Golds. Against all of these horsemen, he needs to get out a spearman, but he may not. He does have veteran spearman, not elite spearman, which should be adequate enough for now. Engineers firing away from good position, getting some good damage done. But everything just charged away forward. Knights Templar has a massive resource reserve. Chinese player could just probably buy probably 1,000 food just to make sure he can get a pretty sizable production queue going. Going for the Spearway is probably not going to be a possibility. We got more Cantonero being flown in field. Crossbow maybe just a bit more cost effective against them at the current rate. He spent less damage with which would be from 43, let's assume it goes down by 10, so 33. Crossbow, yeah, maybe just as effective, but they have less health. Nice Templars push way forward. Elite Spearman now being has been researched by the Chinese player. Secondary towns are starting going down. The capital's right here. Go for more production structures back here. And Blue does back the game now. That's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Sorry, give me a moment. I just feel like I'm starting to get a bit more sick right now. I don't know why. By the way, let's go ahead and try to find another replay. Let's see, that was this one there, and I think I already looked through all of these, right? No, not that one. Don't want to do mirror matchups. Go do this one. I think I actually already did that one. Yeah, some of these are starting to look the same. I've already done quite a bit of the new civs, so let's try to find more replays with other civilizations, probably versus new ones, or maybe not. As for the customs, 35 minutes here. Let's try this one. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the right side is assigned Japanese, got El Shadowdoll Winda. Spawn on the left side as the Blue Knights Templar, we got VES Valdemar. Something I immediately notice is, looks like Yellow's trees all spawn a nice little line up there, easy securable. Goes a little bit off the side, but both steer deposits back here as well. Pretty well securable. For when it comes to his pilgrims, this appears to be the farthest one away for him. But this one's, of course, a little bit closer, so probably a little bit easier to secure. Of course, will provide less income. Japanese player, he has a wood deposit spawn behind and a couple in front, so he's able to get the wood, at least this one, perfectly securable. The other one's going to be just incorporated to his borders. He has to actually send a sheep over here to this farmhouse, so it didn't have to travel too far back over here. Very nice little time save there. Berries you collect up slower than sheep. Both steer deposit spawn forward and out in the open. And wait a second, we got spearmen by being put up by the Knights Templar. Trying to stab some of these villagers. He should have enough gold in their bags to get him his age up. Yeah, 13 there. That alone will give him enough. Yellow's trying to go for an outpost here, so you may or may not see the French. Look out the Kota Township. Will Shinobi actually be useful? Guess we'll find out soon enough. I wonder. Nope. Can't click on this, like, to see the age of possibilities. Outpost being established there. Spearing torch down the forge. The forge is nice and cheap, costing about 50 wood. So it's not a minor loss of losing it. Got a good number of sheeple there, following the scout. Another farmhouse being established there. Yellow find some more sheeple down south. And, oh, Principality of Antioch. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Melee units get plus 10% damage. Sounds like it does get a good decent number of arrows there. Let's see. The ones I've seen, France is usually by default, which does give a bit of cold discount, and the Chevaliers. There was another one provided a heavy infantry in H2, but I think that's a different one to this one. Can't remember. Shinobi push away forward. We'll see if there's anything that gets available to the barracks. Melee units get plus 10% damage. It is a little bit nice. Effective like boot camp. I haven't didn't see boot camp, but just damage out of health. Sergeants or surgeons. Yeah, this is one I haven't seen yet. Let's switch over to yellow so we can see some of the information for surgeons. You have a surgeon being employed in the field, as was veteran spearman or hardened spearman. Torches the Templar headquarters, disabling production for a bit of time. Those lose the shinobi. Just being annoying. Sergeant, now employed in the field, has 4 melee armor. And has a throwing axe? Oh, this is a ranged melee damage unit. Okay, so it's a throwing axeman. That does base damages at 9. Gets a little bit extra damage because it already has plus 10%. Which actuality is probably actually 9.9 damage at the moment. And it does not have torch damage, so it is technically weaker than other units when fighting against buildings, well, other melee units. But of course, it does have damage compared to archers. Using bowman point field, surgeons are heavy melee infantry units that do not receive bonus damage from archers. However, they have an inherently 0 range armor, so they will take full damage from the weaker Yumi archers. Another torch there onto the headquarters. Takes out the shinobi as well. Sergeants do cost 120 resources like mana arms. Yumi archers are probably not a good item to deploy right now. He is seeing now sergeants, horsemen, arrow slipping queued on up. Looks like the horsemen also affected by that plus 10% damage. It was all melee damage, not just melee infantry unit damage. Yumi archers are still probably the best thing the Japanese player could pull on the field, or maybe should just try to eye from age up. Sergeants and archers push forward. Take some good damage there. What's their attack speed like? They have 105 health. Their attack speed is slow. And their health is higher than a spearman, but lower than a mana arms, if I remember correctly. Maybe at this point in time, maybe samurai wouldn't be half bad. Shinobi, they wouldn't be half bad either. They offer good damage. Yeah, shinobi against sergeants would be actually useful. Problem is the archers. So I think mass shinobi is a possibility the Japanese player could eye. But right now he's just trying to age up, probably to the floating gardens. We do have 2 outposts here, neither of them upgraded. Of course, inherently no range armor. The defense emplacements will be decently effective. 1 village does go down there. Scout down. 0 military units on the field for Cyan. Arrow slits should be effective. There's the floating gate. Probably the mounted bowman. The Onimusha wouldn't be half bad. Onimusha are the crossbowman variant for, or the anti-heavy variant for the Japanese. Having less damage and bonus damage against heavy compared to crossbowmen, they are on top of a horse, so high mobility. Maybe just mounted samurai. Mounted samurai would be overall good, barring the fact he's fighting against spearmen. I'm still just thinking about maybe just samurai would be not bad. You rarely ever see mass samurai from the Japanese, strangely enough. Floating gate trying to be established there. Does get inside town center, does evacuate some, very nice. Some of these villagers over here are being pursued. Taking a bit of damage there, can play a bit of Ring Around the Rosary, trying to around the total township. Some evacuate over there. Does lose some. Oh, no. Does get in there. Did lose another one. The problem was he ordered a drop off, not a garrison. Another villager does go down there. He is currently building the floating gate with one villager at the moment. Yellow's army will be picked off, but will set below a bit back. Or Sign, I should say. Losing 10 villagers so far this game. Yellow's villagers do get built at a normal rate, it's just that he has to stop building them to age up, as well as going for those pilgrimage. But these pilgrims provide more income and have the same build research time as build time of these villagers. After all, one pilgrim every 60 seconds will effectively provide him about 100 gold every 60 seconds, which is greater than a single villager. Onimusha Floating Field. His Shinto piece he got for free from the floating gate is also here. Threw it inside the archer range there to start getting these guys being built. Does have daimyo mana, so can go for a banner man. Taking a bit of damage there. So far, yep, doing a good job of keeping these guys alive. Right now he's pretty far behind. Try and go for outpost there. Outpost does go down there. Republic, nope, going for the Kingdom of Castile, which give him access to Genitours. And let's see, what else does it provide? Units near sacred sites get plus 20% damage. Genitours are effectively a mounted javelin thrower. In other words, a mounted range cavalry that counters other range units. Throws the Yoshiro into the farmhouse there. Plus 23 food. What if it got slightly nerfed there? 23 food is relatively precise. Mage is meant to total up to 70. Last time I remember it was 75. We do now have the monastery going down there. Onimusha actually get a pretty good counterattack there, taking out multiple villagers here. Nope, does not attack the same target there. Does take out the villager there. Getting 4 villagers there. One Onimushas do go down. Here comes Genitor. Mounted anti-range unit. 6 tower range. Archer attack speed. There will be a counter to the Onimusha. Same movement speed. So now he has a pretty effective counter to the anti-heavy unit for the Japanese. Brother Templar push away forward. I just thought of something. The surgeons. Where are they classified as melee or range? They are classified as melee, so Shinobi should still get bonus damage to them where Shinobi do bonus damage versus melee units, right? You could throw your Shiro inside the Koto Township to increase his production speed. So right now he's wanting some Brother Templars, so he needs some Spearmen. Onimusha moving around. Shinto priest try to go to the sacred site. He will be killed off by the Genitours. Try and break down that gate. That allow the Onimusha to get some good damage there. Not a samurai here. Onimusha does hit the spearmen, not the surgeons. Needs to hit the Brother Templar there. Does good volume Brother Templar. Another Onimusha there. Another mounted samurai here. Only one spearman remains. No spear brace there, and the spearman's himself almost down. Sergeants get a good volley there with the axes. Onimusha's taking out these archers. Now they go on to the surgeons. And he can get... Oh, got a Shinto priest here with a relic. Not a Yoshiro. Here comes Genitours. Brother Templar does go down. Huh, how do you see into that? I don't see a scout there. Can Genitours spawn the force? I think those Onimusha should have been hidden for the most part. Not sure. Brother Templar here, charge way forward. Does have 6 range armor at the moment. Onimusha does go down there. A lot of stuff pushing way forward. These villagers are a little bit exposed. Brother Templar will be taken out by the Onimusha. Villagers going to be shanking the Genitor. Mountain Samurai does lose vision of these Genitors. We have a bit of health for Gen going there. That was because they were close to the sacred site. Surgeons will be going on down to the Onimusha. One more Spearman there, which will go down. Gold deposit here is almost completely cleaned up. The natural gold, so there's plenty of gold here. I guess one of the houses got burnt down. I wasn't really paying attention to it. Do not have the level 3 wheelbarrow for the Japanese player. Good number of Genitors in the field. Onimusha activate the tracking there. Does take out one Onimusha there. Mounted Samurai trying to gauge. Does take out one. Genitors do have more health than Magadai or Horse Archers. They do cost 60, 60, 120, which is the same as Horse Archers as well. Now got a mounted bannerman here. Against these Genitors, it'll probably be a good idea just go for some horsemen to pursue them. Fortress now being established by Yellow, putting next to the sacred site there. Also increase the number of pilgrims by 1. Oh, there's still a sheep down there. We do now have the Daimyo Palace now being researched as well. Trebuchet deployed in the field. Destroy, sets ablaze to that outpost. You now have the Veteran Sergeant upgrade. Looks like pilgrims being sent over here, providing 120 gold. Yellows have now obtained every single sacred site. Mounted Samurai and the Bannerman sitting down south. Got a couple Brother Templar and a Gentleman there. Mounted Bannerman does take a Gentleman Javelin. And right now we do have a good number of Hardened Spearmen being queued on up, or just regular Spearmen by the Japanese player. Onimusha does try to hit some of these villagers, but of course the health regen and the fortress now pulling a few. Another fortress being established by yellow right there. Try and establish a corridor for the pilgrims. You now have the Otachi upgrade, increasing bonus aim versus infantry. Got Hardened Spearman now research, Veteran Spearman on the way. Otachi still being upgraded now. Going for a good number of Spring Gulls. Is going quite heavy in anti-infantry, anti-cavalry. Nothing really stopped the crossbowmen, which he is wanting to spot a good number of them, so some Magnos wouldn't be half bad for that. Palisade Gate under fire. Villagers took inside of the town center. Veteran Spearman trying to retaliate. Brother Templar being pursued by these spearmen. Brother Templar does go down there. Crossbow engaging. Veteran horse or just regular horseman there. Also got a secondary Daimyo man being pulled in the field against more Bannerman. Another Spring Gull's now pulled in the field. Mounted Samurai backing on off. The Mounted Bannerman does go down. Katana Bannerman push way forward. Scout there. Sign has a pretty large mixed force. Got Spearmen, severe number of Spring Gulls. 7 Katana Bannermans. That's a lot of them. Onimusha, or Onobushigas, Onimusha, Samurai, Horseman, and Mounted Samurai, and Trebuchet. This is extremely large mixed forest. He's fighting against a couple Janitors, a couple Prelates or Monks, a handful of Brother Templar, good number of Spearmen, good number of Sergeants, which they are melee infantry, which means Spring Gulls do counter them. and crossbowmen. So overall, Springbolts are a very good choice against those surgeons. We're gonna have another fort being established somewhere. Got some stone walls here as well. Fort being established way back here to help protect this farming economy. Provide more pilgrims. Wall slow going down. Got the crossbow engaging. We do now have the treasure towers there, increasing the gold income from the pilgrims. Right now, yellow does have 3 relics, which, if it's forced next to the monastery, it will increase the gold income from those relics. Decent amount of damage there. Got the trebuchet deployed. Horsemen, scouts, Gentures push way forward. Brother Templar is almost down. Got a Ono Bushiga there. Looks like all these units will go on down. Sign does have a pretty good force here, as well as good number of siege weapons. Good backline Springolds there. Sign should probably fall back towards the Springolds. Sign should also perhaps maybe not move forward like that. Springolds get a massive volley there. Takes out a number of spearmen. I do think the Springolds were definitely a great choice against these surgeons. He has a good number of surgeons and spearmen, but he has a good number of crossbowmen. And he has a number of heavy units on the field as well. I think a couple Mangonels wouldn't hurt, but that's sometimes just asking for too much when you already have 200 population on the field. He's starting to siege down the Templar headquarters. That will not be annihilation victory. There's a good number of forces on the field. Massive volley there. Should probably try to, if possible, try to aim for the bigger groups, but at this point in time, they should just attack whatever they can. Though those surgeons doing melee damage, they will fully pierce the armor of Springbolts. But no, they have 4 or 3 melee armor as well. That's not bad. When did they get melee armor? Have they always had 3 melee armor? Probably since the rework. So they will resist some of the surgeon damage, which are at right now 14. Some, not a whole lot though. They're hitting the crossbowmen. Onomusha's engaging the Brother Templars. Samurai and Spearman breaking on forward there. Takes up the surgeons. Some of the Springolds are going down. Good number of Springolds going down. 3 of them remain. Sides sort of fall back. Both sides lost a significant amount of their forces. According to this, the Destroy Valley is higher. Can't say how accurate that number is. Another Springbolt does go down. So Sides losing some, taking some losses there upon retreat. Large number of Mangonels there. And Shinto Priest here would like to go down as well. Sign definitely needs to regroup some forces, going for some forward barracks. Maybe a Castle of Crow on this side of the map wouldn't be half bad. Tankashima Gunsmith now being established. 3 gunpowder units are not bad as well. Maybe some Revolpins? They have apparently 10 melee armor. But right now, this one's going for a good number of crossbowmen. He has stopped surgeon production. Going for the rules of the rule of Templars. Some of these units are going down now. Mangonel's been deployed in the field. not across from the field, probably a good idea to go to Ono Fugushas. A number of these main arms, mixing some Samurai still be a good idea. Maybe some Onimusha if possible. He has not gone for main Genitor, so Onimusha still be useful. We could see his unique Hinkanir, the Otsu. Right now, just going for same Hinkanirs. Yellow's push by 4 has a massive Mangonel force here. Now the force is being established by Yellow. This will put him up to 4 fortresses, giving him 6 pilgrims, which each one's providing about like 150 gold each. Quite a bit of gold, so 120 gold per minute for free. A lot of Mangonels there. Maybe a good number of horsemen on order. Teutonic Order now being researched. Have not seen them yet. All gold units gain +2 melee armor, so anything that's not trash gets +2 melee armor. I would probably rework that description saying all units that cost gold gets +2 melee armor, or that has a gold cost. Mangonel gets some damage there on these men arms. This should put them up immediately to 8 armor. They could potentially get up to what, 10 melee armor in the end. There's a lot of extra melee armor, but Samurai have the Otachi, which is +4 versus infantry, so they're able to still break through it. Tidevarn, Elite Crossbowmen, Siege Engineers, a lot of research being researched by Knights Templar. And what's their... I'm assuming they get Templar units? Barracks, they do get the Teutonic Knight, 180 resources, probably from the campaign. No Mounted Templar. Lower the armor of nearby lowers the armor of nearby enemy units. So they have a negative aura effect. And some sort of form of veterancy as well. Mangonels. Get a pretty good volley there. Takes out one of the Mangonels. Very nice. And Yellow's just trying to decapture the sacred site there. Going for Elite Horsemen. Of course, Elite Horsemen will have a bit more trouble with it versus these heavy armored units. We do have 2 Teutonic Knights deployed on the field. And around Pilgrims there. I'm curious about the Teutonic Knights. Try and find one, but it's hard to pin down one. There are 2. Let's see. There's one. They have 6 base armor, which is very high. One more than the man at arms at this age. 330 health, which is very high as well. Their move speed is 0.9, so elephant move speed. The combat spirit doesn't even match the same speed as a spearman. So I'm breaking forward here. Reduce the enemy arms by +2, by -2, -2. And we have the behind near sacred site as well, so their damage up to 39. Probably elite armor tactics have not been even researched just yet. And signed us back the game now. The Sand Grade saying, "Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay." Probably have capability to do one more replay tonight. I'm not feeling 100%. I just need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see what we have here. Seven minutes. 15 minutes. This is the one I... Nope, that's not the one I did. The one I did was this one. 17 minutes too short. 23 could do that one. Let's see. Already done quite a bit of Knights Templar versus Chinese. Let's just do the Mongol versus Knights Templar, and I'll probably call it good for today. Right now, I don't know, I just feel a little bit more sick by the minute. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the top side or right side as the blue Mongols got Martinivj. Spawn on the left side as the yellow Knights Templar got VES Valdemar. This map is a little bit different. All the relics are along the river. I think it's called Relic River. So all 5 relics are in the middle map. When it comes to the deer deposits, looks like yellow's one of his deer deposits spawned very far forward. Blue spawns actually could go for this deer deposit immediately as well. May want to go for a bit of herding if possible. We also got this deer deposit way up north. There's actually a good amount of gold up here as well. A very large amount of gold deposits. One large golden stone down here, so if somebody loses the northern fight, they still have access to a good amount of gold down south. Gold deposit here is actually pretty exposed, so the Mongol player could try raiding with Nagidai. We'll have to constantly have... Oh! Villager charging his way forward. We do have Spear on the field, on the build queue. Nice Hospitalers being queued on up will give access to Hospitalers. A 2-2 heavy armored infantry unit. Scout does spot this. Spearmen push way forward. I don't think this rush is going to be very useful. The gold deposits on the far side increase the rush distance. Let's see, also nice Hospitaler. Increase the health of civilian units by 30%, increase the healing from all sources by 30% as well. So now these villagers have 65 health, or dragon villagers. Yellow's just trying to get a bit of gold there. Got some Knights Hospitallers being ploughed in field. They are a bit heavy in the gold cost, costing 60. Also can't exactly see them at this exact moment. Let's switch over to Yellow. Outpost under fire does get cancelled there. Hospitallers also act as a monk. They have the heal ability, able to do in-combat healing, as well as able to heal some of these villagers up as well. They have 2-1 armor, 10 damage, 140 health, and speed faster than a man-armed, slower than a spearman. So some sort of slow intermediary speed. No pilgrims have been researched just yet. This villager does manage to escape on out of there, though the local doggo demands the head pats. Scout heading up north. Khan here looks like herding some of the deer. Some of the deer are pretty far away, but I did see that one deer get picked off right next to the town center. Villagers trying to build what now? Going for the silver tree, eyeing for a bit of trade. Trade's a little bit short, but pretty safe along the edge. Go for the far trading post there for good value. But then we'll just have to make sure this entire stretch is secure. Nice Hospitallers. I believe their combat sprint also does not match the speed of Magadai, so Magadai will be faster than regardless if they have the combat sprint or not. So against Nice Hospitallers, Magadai are simply just an option. Plus they have only one range armor rather than 2 or 3. And Magadai are a high attack speed unit. Low damage, high attack speed. Go for that gold deposit. Oh yeah, this is technically a starting point there. Although taking some damage there, he's probably going to eye for some ×2 Keshiks. Has 200 stone, so you can afford ×2 Keshik. There's a ×2 Keshik. Unhardened Spearman now engaging. Going Hardened Spearman now. Silver Tree being redeployed right there. I think he's going for this one. The map seems a little bit wider than normal. That could be just an illusion though. A number of Knights Hospitallers here. Some more spearmen being pulled in the field. Going for regular spearmen there. Ovo's pretty damaged. Nice Hospitallers getting some in-combat healing. Keshik's trying to hit that scout. Does use a speed arrow to help escape. More Keshiks being pulled in the field. That's going right. He will only get contingent archers out. He does have an archer range back here. Silver Tree is pulling out some traders. Ovo has gone down. Not enough stone for a ×2 Keshik. Hacks of the barracks trying to escape on out of there with it. Trying to go for another Keshik here. Needs some more archers. Decides to leave the barracks alone. Does get the charge attack there without spearmen trying to brace. Very nice. Archers need to focus on those spearmen. Looks like he is. Very nice. Keshiks look like doing a pretty good job right now. One of the Keshiks do go down there. And a Spearman being focused down pretty quickly there. Does get a nice little spear charge there and does clean up everything. Over being reestablished there. Has 6 stone remaining, but any other ovals are a little bit farther. And he's going much farther trade path there. I wonder what the Pilgrim's vision range is. Pilgrim's vision range is not great, so he does not spot the traders there. These traders are providing 73 gold, which is actually pretty close to what going from the edge of the corner to edge of corner, which is 70. So he does have good trade. Kingdom Castile now being queued on up, which does give access to Geniteurs and units near secret sites get plus 20% damage and regenerate health. Mongol player does have a good number of villagers advantage. May want to find out where the pilgrims are going. He knows it's not going down south, which means there's 2 secret sites up north he needs to protect, which there is one likely path up there. Easy to raid against. Gentur does get a shot there onto the Khan. Genturs are the mounted anti-range units. On level 1 Pilgrim's research at the moment, which is currently approximately providing 130 gold every 60 seconds. And given the right timing, the Pilgrim can spot the traders and vice versa, like right then and there. Well, not both players realize he saw it is another matter. Man-arms here. Arrow there, increasing attack speed. Needs to make sure it doesn't hit the man-arms. He's hitting the man-arms really badly. Need to hit the spearman, not the man-arms. The man-arms right now has 4 range armor. The archers do not have their +1 range damage, so they do 1 damage per arrow against the man-at-arms. Brother Templar now flow in the field. Right now the trade is relatively safe. I was trying to get a bit of boom. Has 10, so he got level 2 Silk Road. Yellow heading up north. Spearmen attack moving to the trade post. Very nice. These guys also heading up there as well. Yellow has a decent sized force here. We do now have the speed arrow there. The Mongol player is not age up, so it's Castle Age versus Feudal Age. The Mongol player has to really rely on his counter units. Right now, man-at-arms are particularly effective, as well as the Brother Templar. He does not have a spear to engage the Brother Templar, so he has to just rely on Keshiks. He is, of course, fighting against the Sacred Site there, which does give him plus 20% damage, as well as some health regen. So effectively, every single Sacred Site is a critical tie. Archer does go down there. Mongol player almost has enough gold to age up, still needs a lot more food. Going for berries now. Gentures do get a volley on the Khan. Which I don't know if the Khan's actually taking damage from the bonus damage to the Gentur. It looks like it does. A number of Keshiks on the field. Genturs are not like Javelin Throwers. They don't have really high base damage. So the +1 range armor would reduce the damage the Keshiks receive from Genturs from 2 damage down to 1. But he's going for melee damage. And now the Knights Templar is going for crossbow to counter out the Keshiks. Genturs are, of course, more of a counter unit. They don't have good damage to hit the traders. They'll get nothing that can take out a trader. +1 range armor now being researched by the Monk player. He has a lot of gold stored up. I think he just bought some food. I think he did. Some of these villagers are going down. And the gear does need to be redeployed closer, but also needs to run away from the Templars. Number of free units will go down here. Gear has redeployed close to the wood deposit. This is another gear here. Archers won't do much. This spearman can easily get overran by these Brother Templars. So the Brother Templars are quite wounded. They can fall back to Sacred Site there to get some extra healing going. Pilgrim heading down south. Times 2 Keshik on the build queue. Mongol player has a decent gold reserve. He may just want to buy the food to get the age up going. He really needs to get the age up. He's fighting against really heavy units and has no real proper counter to them. And also, Keshiks don't feel like they perform their value, honestly. They're not like Royal Knights. Some of these traders taking some damage there. A series of research being queued on up. And the last of these bears being cleaned on up. Mongol player has enough from age up. Goes for the Kurultai. Trader needs to not be there. We do have some of these Yam or outposts nearby for the Yam network. Right there at least. Speed arrow there. Trying to see, he thinks that he has a good engagement here to help close the distance on. Got a decent number of Brother Templars here. Archers really need to focus down those spearmen. Mongol player does have a number of spearmen here, but probably not enough. There's age up. Definitely gets some of the veteran research going, especially the veteran Keshiks. Buy veteran spearmen and get out some regular crossbowmen. Got some crossbowmen now. No veteran Keshik research on the way. Ovo appears to be depleted. Got some pastures on the build queue. Kurultai gets redeployed there. Kurultais have very powerful defensive emplacement. Able to get him plus 20 some damage and some health regen. This effectively help evens out the tech difference right now. Venom Keshiks have been researched. It looks like the Brother Templar are starting to go down. Does use the fence arrow there before the con goes down, though it looks like the con may not actually go down. Con does go down there. Got a good no crossbone here, so some regular horsemen be useful, but he probably only has early horsemen available. Yep, early horsemen. Got some trade here. Might as well try to go to this trade post if possible. There's still this outpost here for the Yam network. Does try to go for some of these villagers, slowly whittled down by this. Templar could be focused down. Got a spearman engaging as well. Number of crossbow advancing. It looks like yellow's starting to fall back now. Villagers collected these deer. Got some traders here. Currently there's 16 traders in the field, so it does have level 3 Silk Road. Now got the level 2 Pilgrimage. Some of these villagers are starting to go on down. Traders and villagers trying to evacuate out there. Kurultai being redeployed to here. These traders are going to go on down as well. Really should just retask the trade to this trade post for the meantime. More archers, more Keshiks, no more crossbow. Could probably use some more spearmen. Those opponent's not going for any more Brother Templars. He's going for some Hospitallers. More of these traders going on down. Just to put them below, back down to level 2 Silk Road. Kurultai here, providing some good defensive capability. That Brother Templar may go down. Some spearmen there, going for defense arrow and +2/+2 armor. Does probably does not have whistling arrow research. Yeah, it does not. Nice Hospitallers when the veteran guys have 3/3 armor. Trader walking on by does go down. All of these traders have not been tasked, and so they will go on down. No veteran archers at the moment. +1 range damage on the way, and the Mongol player does going back the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.